Oh my God. Did you just see that? What was that?
I thought it would be a normal evening. I came home early just to surprise her, but the moment I stepped inside, something felt wrong. My fiancée froze, her face pale and her hands trembled. Then I noticed the closet door slightly ajar. Everything I thought I knew about our relationship was about to change in an instant. I had left work a little earlier than usual that day. The sun was still warm on my face as I walked through the quiet streets, thinking about how surprised she would be when I got home. I imagined the smile on her face, the way her eyes would light up, and maybe even a little laugh at how unexpected my early arrival would be. When I opened the front door, the apartment was quiet, too quiet. Normally, I would hear her humming in the kitchen, the faint clatter of dishes, or even the soft music she liked to play while cooking. Today, there was nothing, just the soft hum of the refrigerator and the steady ticking of the wall clock. I called out her name, but there was no reply. My heart skipped a beat, but I tried to shake off the uneasy feeling. Maybe she had gone to run a quick errand. I thought. I set my bag down and stepped further inside. Something felt off. The living room looked normal, but the air was heavy, and I noticed a small detail. Out of place, her favorite mug wasn't on the table, and a jacket lay crumpled where it usually wasn't. A part of me told me not to worry, but another part whispered that today would be different. Something was waiting for me, just around the corner, and I had no idea how much it would change everything I thought I knew about my life. I stepped into the kitchen and finally saw her. My fiancée was standing near the counter, her back slightly turned, hands frozen in mid-motion, as if she had been caught off guard. The moment our eyes met, she flinched. Her face went pale, and a nervous tremor ran through her hands. "Hey," I said gently, trying to sound casual. "I thought I'd come home a little early today." She forced a smile, but it didn't reach her eyes. "Oh, you're home early," she stammered. Her voice was higher than usual, cracking slightly in the quiet room. I noticed the way she avoided looking directly at me, glancing nervously toward the living room, then back at the counter, and finally at the closet door across the room. Something about her behavior made my stomach tighten. Normally, she would have laughed, teased me, or even playfully scolded me for sneaking in unnoticed. Instead, there was tension, a strange hesitation in her every movement. I tried to brush it off as nerves, maybe a bad day, but the more I watched, the more I realized something wasn't right. She kept fidgeting, shifting from foot to foot, glancing at the closet and biting her lip. The air between us suddenly felt heavy, charged with a quiet fear I couldn't explain. My heart began to race. Whatever was going on, she wasn't ready to tell me yet. And deep down, I knew that something hidden in that room was about to change everything. As I moved further into the apartment, little things began to catch my attention. A book that should have been on the shelf lay on the floor, slightly open. A pair of shoes sat in the middle of the hallway, not where they usually belonged. Even the small rug near the door was slightly wrinkled, as if someone had moved across it quickly. She tried to act normal, busying herself with a glass of water, but I could see the tension in her movements. Every time I looked at her, she froze for a moment, then forced a smile and avoided eye contact. I felt a knot in my stomach. Something wasn't right. I wanted to ask, to confront her, but I also wanted to understand first. My mind raced with possibilities, none of them comforting. Then I noticed it. The closet door across the room was slightly ajar. I had closed it before leaving that morning. Now it stood there, a silent hint that something hidden or something she was hiding was waiting to be revealed. My heart began to pound. I realized that this was not just a small mistake or a harmless oversight. Whatever was in that closet might explain everything, and I knew I had to find out what it was. I took a slow step toward the closet, my heart pounding in my chest. The apartment felt smaller, quieter, as if it were holding its breath with me. Every sound hummed the fridge. The soft tick of the clock suddenly seemed louder, sharper. She stayed frozen, her eyes wide, hands pressed to her chest. The color had drained from her face completely. I could see her trembling slightly, and the guilt or fear in her expression made my stomach twist. The closet door was slightly open, just enough for a shadow to peek through. My mind raced. Should I open it? What if I wasn't ready for what I would find? My curiosity fought with my fear, but I couldn't turn back now. Step by step, I closed the distance, my breathing shallow. The air felt heavier as I neared, and my pulse thundered in my ears. I noticed the way her eyes darted nervously from me to the door, as if pleading silently. Finally, I reached the closet. My hand hovered over the handle. Frozen for a moment, everything in me screamed to stop. Yet another part demanded to know the truth. I took a deep breath and pulled the door open, not knowing how my life might change in the next instant. I slowly pulled the closet door open, my heart hammering in my chest. The apartment seemed to hold its breath with me. Inside, I saw her standing there, frozen, eyes wide with panic. At first, I couldn't make sense of what I was seeing. Clothes were scattered across the floor, boxes stacked oddly, and in the corner, a small pile of letters and photos I had never seen before. My hand shook as I stepped closer, trying to understand. Then I noticed a note in her hands. She tried to hide it, but it slipped through her fingers. I picked it up and read it. My chest tightened as the truth hit me. She had been planning a surprise for me, something big, something meaningful. Every panic-filled movement, every nervous glance had been because she wanted it to be perfect. The closet had been her secret workshop, a hidden space for her careful preparations. Relief and guilt washed over me at the same time. I had assumed the worst, and she had been acting out of love. She looked at me, tears brimming, and whispered, "I wanted it to be perfect. I didn't mean to scare you." In that moment, everything changed. The fear, the suspicion, the tension, all of it melted away, replaced by understanding, gratitude, and a love deeper than I had imagined. I stepped back from the closet, trying to catch my breath. My mind was spinning, and my heart still pounded from the rush of fear and confusion. What I had expected, the betrayal, the lies, was gone. In its place was something completely unexpected: care, thoughtfulness, and love. I looked at her again. She was trembling slightly, her hand still clutching a small bundle of notes and gifts. Her eyes were wet with tears, and I could see the shame mixed with hope. She had been so afraid of disappointing me that she hadn't even considered how her panic would look to me. For a moment, we both just stared at each other, letting the silence speak. The apartment felt lighter now, as if the tension that had filled the room had finally lifted. Slowly, I began to understand every small gesture, every nervous glance, every slight inconsistency over the past few days. It had all been part of her secret plan, carefully crafted to surprise me. I smiled, feeling a wave of relief and love. The fear that had twisted my stomach moments ago dissolved into gratitude. I realized how much effort she had put in, and I felt more connected to her than ever before. I finally spoke, my voice softer than I expected. I thought something was wrong. She shook her head, tears spilling down her cheeks. "I didn't mean to scare you. I just wanted it to be perfect. I wanted it to be a surprise." I took a deep breath and stepped closer. "I see that now. I let my imagination run away with me. I should have trusted you." Her shoulders relaxed slightly, and she reached out, taking my hand. "I was so nervous. I wanted everything to be special for you, but I didn't think about how it would look if you came home early." We stood there for a long moment, just holding hands, letting the tension fade. The apartment felt warm again, the heavy silence replaced by understanding and relief. I pulled her into a hug, feeling her tremble slightly against me. "I'm sorry for doubting you," I whispered. She smiled through her tears. "I'm sorry for scaring you." In that embrace, all the fear, confusion, and panic melted away. What had started as a moment of suspicion became a memory of trust, love, and the little surprises that make a relationship stronger than we ever imagined. After that night, everything felt different. The fear and suspicion that had filled the apartment were replaced by trust, love, and a deeper understanding of each other. I realized how much thought and care she had put into her surprise, and I felt more connected to her than ever. We laughed softly about the panic, the misplaced items, and the mystery of the slightly open closet. What had started as a moment of doubt turned into one of the most meaningful memories of our relationship. That evening taught me a powerful lesson. Sometimes, the truth is far kinder than our fears, and trust can turn confusion into love. As we held each other, I knew that the story of surprise, panic, and revelation would stay with us forever. From that day on, the closet was no longer just a piece of furniture. It became a symbol of thoughtfulness, love, and the little secrets that make life together unforgettable.